Plaxico Burress is renowned as one of the most talented yet controversial players in NFL history. His off-field transgressions often overshadowed his on-field achievements, consistently making headlines for his legal troubles rather than his records on the field. In August and September 2008, the Totowa police were called to the Burress residence twice due to domestic disturbance incidents. Temporary restraining orders were issued both times, but later they were dismissed by the New Jersey State Court. On November 28, 2008, Burress accidentally shot himself in the right thigh at a nightclub called LQ in New York City. His Glock pistol in the pocket of his jeans slipped down his leg, and when he tried to grab it, the gun went off unintentionally. The injury wasn't life-threatening, and Burress was released from the hospital the next day. 2 days later, he surrendered to police to face charges of possessing a handgun illegally. It was later found that the New York City police only learned about the incident from television and weren't contacted by the hospital as required by law. Mayor Michael Bloomberg criticized the hospital's actions, calling them an outrage and suggesting they could be charged. Bloomberg also pushed for Burress to be fully prosecuted, stating that anything less than a minimum 3.5 years for unlawful gun possession would be a mockery of the law. Burress had an expired concealed carry license from Florida, but didn't have a license for New York. On December 2, 2008, Burress paid bail of $100,000. Later that day, he reported to Giants Stadium as required for injured players, but was informed that he would be suspended without pay for the remaining 4 games of the 2008 regular season for his conduct, which was deemed harmful to the team. The Giants placed Burress on their non-football injury list, meaning he couldn't return for the playoffs. Burress was supposed to receive $1 million from his signing bonus on December 10, 2008, but the team initially held on to it. The NFL Players Association filed a grievance stating that the team violated the collective bargaining agreement and challenging Burress' suspension and fine. An arbitrator ruled in favor of Burress, ordering the Giants to pay him the entire $1 million according to the agreement. Giants co-owner John Mara expressed frustration, stating, "To think that a player could carry a loaded gun into a nightclub, shoot himself, miss the rest of the season, but still keep his entire signing bonus illustrates one of the serious flaws in the current system." On December 23, 2008, police searched Burress' home in New Jersey and found a 9mm gun, a rifle, ammunition, and the clothes he wore on the night of his shooting. Burress' attorney announced on June 12, 2009 that they couldn't reach a sentencing agreement. Burress testified before a Manhattan grand jury on July 29, 2009, asking for sympathy. On August 3, 2009, he was indicted on 2 felony counts of criminal possession of a weapon and 1 count of reckless endangerment. He accepted a plea deal on August 20th, 2009, agreeing to 2 years in prison with 2 years of supervised release. Burress was sentenced on September 22, 2009. He hired a prison consultant to prepare for prison life. In January 2010, his request for work release was denied. Burress was released from Oneida Correctional Facility on June 6, 2011, after serving 20 months. On December 8, 2008, Burress was sued in Broward County, Florida, where Elise Smith claimed his $140,000 Mercedes-Benz rear-ended her car, causing her permanent injuries. Burress' car insurance had been canceled 3 days before the accident due to missed payments. In 2012, he was ordered to pay Smith $159,000, which he did by May 2013 after a judge ordered the sale of his Virginia Beach mansion. In January 2010, Burress faced another lawsuit from a car dealer in Lebanon County, Pennsylvania. The dealer claimed Burress never returned a leased Chevrolet Avalanche or attended publicity events as promised. The damaged car was impounded by the police and eventually returned. Burress admitted responsibility for some damage, but asked a jury to decide the amount. The jury awarded the dealer $1,700, much less than the requested damages of up to $19,000. According to the Associated Press, Burress has been sued at least 9 times since joining the NFL in 2000. On April 30th, 2015, Burress was indicted by the state of New Jersey for failing to pay nearly $48,000 in income taxes. He filed his 2013 state tax return on October 20th, 2014, but the electronic transfer didn't go through. Despite multiple notifications to collect the tax debt, Burress didn't respond. This made him the first person in New Jersey charged under a new law treating bad electronic transfers as a criminal offense. On December 7, 2015, Burress entered a plea agreement admitting guilt for not paying $46,000 in taxes on his 2013 income of $1 million. At his sentencing on February 5, 2016, he faced up to 5 years as probation. Instead, he received a conditional 364-day jail sentence, 5 years of probation, and was ordered to repay $56,000 in penalties and restitution. Burress won't go to jail if he follows the probation conditions, but failing to pay in full by the end of probation could lead to incarceration. This situation highlights the challenges of being famous. Every action becomes public, even things done behind the scenes or off the field. Celebrities have their entire lives scrutinized by the media, and any misstep quickly tarnishes their reputation. And now, let's take a look back at Burress's career and accomplishments. Burress, born in Norfolk, Virginia, graduated from Green Run High School before attending Michigan State University. At Michigan State, he set records for receptions, receiving yards, and touchdowns in just 2 seasons. Burress was a standout wide receiver, earning All-American and All-Big Ten honors. He set a school season record with 66 receptions, over 1,100 receiving yards, and 12 touchdowns in 1999. Burress also excelled in special teams, setting records and making impactful plays. He ended his college career with impressive performances, including a record-setting game against the University of Michigan and a standout Citrus Bowl performance against the University of Florida. After being drafted in the first round of the 2000 NFL Draft as the 8th overall pick, Burress played 5 seasons with the Pittsburgh Steelers. During this time, he made 261 receptions for 4,164 yards, scoring 22 touchdowns in 71 games. In his rookie season, Burress was featured on the MTV show True Life, showcasing his journey. However, he also had a memorable gaffe when he mistakenly spiked the ball during a play, leading to a turnover. Burress broke the 1,000-yard mark in his second season, gaining 1,008 yards on 66 receptions. His best season with the Steelers was in 2002, setting career highs with 78 receptions for 1,325 yards and 7 touchdowns. He also made his playoff debut that year with a notable performance of 6 receptions for 100 yards and a touchdown. Burress and Hines Ward became the Steelers' first pair of 1,000-yard receivers in 2001 and repeated the feat in 2002. In a game against the Atlanta Falcons in 2002, Burress set a Steelers' franchise record with 253 receiving yards in a single game. He caught 9 passes, scored 2 touchdowns, and almost won the game single-handedly, stopping just short of the goal line as time ran out. After a playoff loss on January 23, 2005, Burress announced he would leave the Steelers. He then signed a 6-year, $25 million contract with the New York Giants on March 17th. In his first season with the Giants, Burress caught 76 passes for 1,214 yards, but they lost in the playoffs to the Carolina Panthers. The following year, he scored a career-high 10 touchdowns, but struggled with injuries and fell short of 1,000 yards. The Giants lost in the playoffs to the Philadelphia Eagles. Despite not practicing due to an ankle injury in 2007, Burress led the Giants in receiving yards. He set a playoff record in the NFC title game and caught the game-winning touchdown in Super Bowl 48 against the undefeated England Patriots. Burress and his teammates visited the White House in April 2008 to meet President George W. Bush. Before the minicamp in May, Burress expressed unhappiness with his contract but attempted to avoid fines. He later participated little in practice, citing an ankle injury and feeling underpaid compared to other top receivers. In September 2008, Burress missed work without notice and couldn't be reached for 2 days. On September 24th, 2008, the team announced he would be suspended for a game on October 5th for breaking team rules. This wasn't the first time Burress faced suspension. Back in May of 2004, the Pittsburgh Steelers suspended him for missing practice. Later, in October 2008, he was fined $60,000 for various reasons: $20,000 for criticizing officiating, $20,000 for unsportsmanlike conduct, $5,000 for throwing the ball into the stands, and $15,000 for slapping a referee. Burress signed a 5-year, $35 million contract extension before the season, but it was based on incentives. The Giants could cut or trade him after the season and save $23 million. On November 2nd, 2008, during the Giants' game against the Dallas Cowboys, Burress caught his 500th career reception. Then, on November 23rd, 2008, despite a hamstring injury concern, he played against the Arizona Cardinals. However, he left the game early and didn't return, marking his final appearance with the Giants. Burress was released by the Giants on April 3, 2009, mainly because his legal case regarding an accidental shooting was expected to take longer than anticipated to resolve. On July 31, 2011, Burress signed a 1-year contract worth $3.017 million guaranteed with the New York Jets. He had turned down a 2-year deal from the Pittsburgh Steelers, which was rumored to be slightly more valuable but less guaranteed money. In his first game back in New York at MetLife Stadium during a preseason game against the Cincinnati Bengals, Burress caught a pass from Mark Sanchez on the Jets' first drive. He also caught a touchdown pass in the second quarter. Then, on October 23, 2011, during a game against the San Diego Chargers, Burress had a standout performance, catching 3 touchdown passes from Sanchez, which tied his career high for touchdowns in a single game. Burress rejoined the Steelers on November 20, 2012, due to injuries to Jericho Cotchery and Antonio Brown. On December 30th, 2012, he caught a 12-yard touchdown pass from quarterback Ben Roethlisberger, marking the first touchdown he caught from Roethlisberger since 2004. On March 12, 2013, Burress signed a 1-year deal to remain with the Steelers. However, during practice on August 8th, he suffered a torn rotator cuff. As a result, on August 13th, Burress was placed on the injured reserve list by the Steelers. That brings us to the end of the video. How about you subscribe if you haven't already?